Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare going with you on the 19th of June, 2024. I'm joined as usual by psychic medium and remote viewer Liz Cross. How you doing, Liz?
Wow. Well, we've been meaning to do this one for a while, but I think what's going on is our Patreon crowd, we're wondering what's going to happen to the markets if Trump goes to jail. Are the stock markets going to react? And so we decided to do this probe. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Okay, yeah, not so bad. Right, so so you put out a request on Patreon for a bunch of questions to be asked of the judge, Juan Merkin. He's the judge in the hush money trial for Trump. So we've got a bunch of questions that you sent me, which is good. So I'm just going to basically do them in the order with the oldest questions first. So they might jump about a bit. I'll try and make some semblance of sense of them. But anyway, so first thing you need to do, Liz, is to grab Judge Merkin.
Okay, I have him.
Okay. Right. I'm just reading these questions straight off the bat. Okay. First question is, are you biased or impartial in this matter?
Are you biased or impartial in the Trump case? In his own personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, not yours, not mine, he says no. He
No to
does
what?
not believe he's biased.
Okay.
So you don't
Uh,
believe you're biased. No.
has he,
Mhm.
okay. Has he been pressurized to convict Trump?
Were you under any pressure to convict Trump? Yes, immense pressure.
Do you intend to jail him?
Do you intend to jail him? Most probably.
Are you trying to keep him from running for president?
Are you trying to keep him from running for president? He personally, no.
Okay, but is he doing it? Is he on behalf of others? So he's clearly, if he's under immense pressure, that makes him an order taker, not an order maker. So whoever's ordering him, whoever is the order makers in this, are they trying through him to keep him from running for president?
So the people that are pressuring you, who are they? Oh, it's a whole bunch of people. He's showing me like, do you have are these people mostly in the US? Not even necessarily in the US. I'm getting that all over the world, people are they basically he just told me. He said basically make sure he gets convicted, right? Because obviously the judge isn't the jury, but we're getting very strongly like what I'm pulling here is make sure he gets convicted. But why do you think the world, these people that are pressuring you, why do you think? Because they don't want him to run.
Right. So that tells you everything you need to know about American democracy, American law, American legal system, and everything else. Okay, next question. Is this part of some sort of personal vendetta?
Is this part of some personal vendetta? No, but he doesn't. Do you like Trump? No, absolutely not. He hates Trump.
Next question. Is he trying to make a martyr out of Trump?
Are you trying to make a martyr out of Trump? No, but do you believe this is backfiring? Yes. Okay, so this is the problem. And, love him or hate him, whatever happens here, I feel it's going to cause a problem in the stock markets. Now, that's going to be huge for a lot of people. And the reason this has all come about, a couple of things. Cliff High, apparently, and you would know this, Mr. Shakespeare, has put out some big event around the time of July 15th. And his computer has picked this up. And so during a CTT session, I was like, oh, I think this is going to be related to Trump's sentencing. And apparently, according to Cliff High's computer, not that I've read anything that Cliff High's put out because I don't have that kind of time, but the stock markets are affected. Now, normally, prior to the event, the stock markets react in advance. But for whatever reason, it's showing that the possibility of the stock markets reacting around July 15th. And we believe it could be in line with the sentencing, which is why we're asking the judge. Now, what the judge has said is that putting him in jail it's not working. It's backfiring. So that leads me to, what are they going to do to him if he does go to jail, right? Because we have seen far too many times, they drag people through the legal system.
Well, we're jumping the gun a bit here, aren't we? Okay, let's carry on with the questions a bit, and then so the next question was, does the judge believe that this will? He already says it's not working, so does it believe that it could flip on the Democratic Party?
Do you believe that the conviction has, flipped on the Democratic Party? Yes, he already believes that. Are you at this, if you were to sentence Trump today, which is June 19th, 2024, if you were to sentence Trump today, would you put him in jail? Yes.
Right, but he's already admitted he's been told to do that. So,
but is it because you want to sentence him, or is it because you're being told to sentence him? He's both. Being told.
Yeah, maybe it's both. Maybe, well, he's definitely been told. Look, he's at the end of the day, he's an order taker. He's, what happens to him if he doesn't jail him? That would be a good question.
What do you think would happen to you if you do not put Trump in jail? There will be retribution.
Yeah. See, at the end of the day, he's employed by the state, whichever state he's in. He's a judge, but they have their own ways of getting back on people. It's a poison chalice working for these people because they're using you to do their bidding and their dirty work. But if you don't play ball, I mean, it's no different to the mafia. Anyway, we've got more questions. Right, next questioner said, do you really think he was innocent and or was framed, but are you too scared to admit it and do the right thing?
So the question is, do you think Trump is innocent? Absolutely not. Do you think that he was framed? No, he doesn't believe that Trump was framed. Do you think that you're doing the right thing? I'm doing my job.
Okay, did you or anybody pay off the jury or coerce them?
Did you or anyone that you were aware of pay off the jury? No.
Did he really want this case or did he try and get out of it?
Did you really want this case? Yes, he really did want this case. Why? Because I could do the job that needed to be done.
Okay. Do you think
he's not scared of Trump?
No, he shouldn't be scared of Trump. Do you feel it's true to say that he should be charged with actually 34 counts when it is really consisted of 34 checks that were written for the same crime? Why was a crime that was initially a misdemeanor get pushed to a felony?
Why do you believe that 34 counts is accurate? Do you believe that 34 counts is accurate? I mean, it should be less, is what he's saying. It could have been much less. It could. Do you believe this should have been a misdemeanor? It could have been a misdemeanor. I mean, he wasn't really. So let me ask this question. Were you involved in the charging of Trump? Yes, he was, he says.
Okay. Do you think this case will be turned over on appeal?
Do you think at this point in time where I'm questioning you, this case will be turned over on appeal? He doesn't believe so. Sentencing is due to go ahead at this point in time.
Has anybody given you instructions as to sentencing? And if so, what are the instructions?
Has anyone given you instructions as to sentencing? Yes, loads of people have given input. And what are those instructions? To put him in jail. Were you paid? Were you given any money? Were you paid? Were you paid by anyone? Were you given any money on the side to be the judge for this case? No, I'm doing it as a favor.
But these people, these public employees, get favors returned to them by suddenly being, elevated to a higher position. In his case, he could be a higher judge or something. I don't know. But that's how they get paid back. Okay. Considering the fact that you donated to the Democratic Party many times over, you should know this was a conflict of interest and you should have recused yourself. Why did you do that?
Why did you not recuse yourself from this case, considering that you had donated to the Democrat Party before? He wanted to be on this case. Do you not believe that it's unethical? No.
Why did you feel the need to put a gag order on Trump?
Why did you feel the need to put a gag order on Trump? I was told to put that gag order on him.
By whom?
Who told you that? Are you in close contact with the Democratic Party? Yes. So was it somebody that we know of? It's some operative, messenger. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Does he not realize the wider implications of this? Because clearly this is election interference, and it's also making the American justice system a mockery on the world stage. Does he not think about that?
Do you not think that this is making the American justice system a mockery on the world stage? No, he's like, I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
Do you not think that this is election fraud? Far from it.
Okay. I'm doing my job. Where have I heard that before? Oh, that's right. The Nuremberg trials. I remember that. Yeah. Okay. Fencing is going up around the Supreme Court. Is this in relation to sentencing? No, I don't think it is. But...
Fencing is going up around the Supreme Court. It's about time, too, he says. Is this in relation to sentencing? Yes, they're predicting riots. They're anticipating riots.
Right.
They're also scared that the public will storm the Supreme Court.
Hey, the only issue, right? Hold on. Put him on the side. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on.
It's overdue.
It's overdue.
Mm-hmm.
In what way is it overdue?
In what way is it overdue? They fear for their protection.
Okay, but have they heard in the last 2 months any controversial cases that would lead them to fear for their protection or fear for their safety? Because I'm not the only case that's entirely controversial is the presidential immunity. I don't think is there anything else that they've heard in the last 2 months that's caused a major controversy? Or
Not in the last 2 months, but what uh, they are telling me is the abortion thing was very controversial, and
yes,
that caused a lot of problems, and they feared for their safety even then.
right, but that's over and done with now, isn't it? I believe. Yeah. So
Yes, it is. It's over and done with, and states have made their rulings on whether they allow it or not.
right.
But if you ask them what was controversial, that was what they shot back with, and then you put in the last 2 months, and they said no.
No, nothing. All right. And the presidential immunity has not been decided yet. Okay.
The
Right.
president.
Hold that there. Go back to the judge.
Okay.
And what is his past life or connection or karmic past life connection to Trump? Anything?
Ooh, is there a past life connection to Trump? There is a past life connection there. That was a good question. And what is the past life connection to Trump? So he and Trump has this, is it only the one past life? No, several past lives. He's always the one. So when I see him in past lives with Trump, he's hitting Trump on the top of the head, right? And this is almost very caveman like as I'm looking at. It's like bang, bang. And I can see him hitting Trump on the head. And I'm saying, but what is this? And he says, I always have to teach him a lesson. So on a soul level, what exactly do you mean by that? They make a contract to really and spiritually to, it's almost like Trump is somewhat so disconnected from his emotions, right? And things like this reconnect him back. So when you hit him on the head in the past life, did that make him reconnect his emotions? No, but what it did do was teach him that he's not invincible. He can come to harm. Is that what the contract is doing in this lifetime as well? Yes, exactly. It's almost like to keep Trump in line.
Okay.
I feel that in that past life, he and Trump were brothers, going way, 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 way back into this caveman lifetime. They were brothers. There were a lot of siblings, but he was the older brother. And he would regularly hit Trump on the head for making mistakes.
Right. Okay, so let's end this recording with a little chat with Trump himself, and let's see what he thinks about all of this. Let's get him.
Okay, so I have Trump.
What does he think about the potential that he might go to jail?
What do you think about the potential that you might? I'm ready for it. he's rubbing his hands together. I can do this.
How will how will it affect his campaign, his presidential campaign?
We're making preparations for that now. How are you making preparations? We're getting a good team of people, he says, and they're going to speak on his behalf.
A lot of people are saying that what they're doing to him is basically, apart from everything else, electoral interference. What's his view on that?
A lot of people say that what's going on is electoral interference. Absolutely 100%. They're trying to stop me, he says.
Yeah.
His own personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, not yours, not mine.
Does he believe that if he does go to jail, therefore they have succeeded in interfering with the election, then this would be then the norm for America? This would happen again and again and again?
If you do go to jail, do you believe this will become the norm? Yes, he does. You believe this will become the yeah, they'll jail anybody that opposes them.
Okay, that's not really democracy, is it?
Do you consider that to be democracy? No, third world politics.
Right. It's just that America preaches itself as the bastion of democracy. And if they end up jailing President Trump, that's not really the message that's the world is going to receive, is it? How does he think? What? Sorry, is he going to? What sort of extra preparation will he have to do if he's in jail? I mean, will he be allowed? Does he believe he would be allowed visits, or can he see his lawyers or his campaign manager, or how would this work? Has he got a plan?
How will this work? Will you be able to see people from jail? He'll be able to communicate via his lawyers. And I'm saying, are you scared of jail? He is scared of jail. Why are you scared of jail? Because they do bad things to people in jail. Do you believe that your life is at risk? Absolutely 100%. So, do you believe that this is possibly an opportunity to take care of you once and for all? Yes, it could. It's a strong possibility. He knows this.
I'm sure he does. Okay. Does he believe that if he does go to jail, because everything they've done to him so far has made him more popular, it's actually backfired against them. So does he believe that if he does go to jail, he'll be seen as some sort of martyr and therefore his popularity goes even higher?
He believes that he will win the election. Do you believe your popularity will increase? He does. He believes, and so far, I mean, he's looking at the polling data. He's telling me, the polling data indicates that if Trump goes to jail, he said if Trump goes to jail, that's what he called himself. If Trump goes to jail, I will be elected. Even more so.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
That's what my interactions with Americans that that either don't care about Trump or or fence sitters or whatever, they would more likely vote for him because they see the overreach of the state, because they see the election interference, because of all of this. Even if they don't particularly like Trump, on the very quick straw poll that I did with the people I know, they would all vote Trump just because, it's the worst thing these people can do is put Trump in jail in a way. But hey.
But again, is it an opportunity to isolate him from his security team?
Well, yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
this isn't the first time. This is becoming the MO. And
I can tell you, Liz, if anything happens to Trump anywhere, your country will be in civil war. Tell you, it'll break out. They won't be able to stop it. If they do, if anything happens like that, this would be curtains for the US. You really, 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 really should not be putting Donald Trump in jail, America.
But if there is a civil war, say it goes north versus south again.
No, it'll just go left versus right. Trump versus non-Trump.
But left versus right, that's so amalgamated now and so many different areas. You would basically have neighbor versus neighbor.
Yep.
I don't know how that would really work. I mean, if you're going to go into a full-scale civil war, you need a side versus a side, but sort of lines of demarcation of this side belongs to these states and this side belongs to those states. So would it be that, I don't know, there's just so much to speculate, but would it be that the anti-Trumpers then have to flee certain areas and the pro-Trumpers have to flee certain? It would just create chaos. I don't see people fleeing their homes. I don't think they're going to give up their homes for the sake of like a civil political war.
Right. Okay.
I mean, would you leave your home to say you're in a very, opposite area to your personal opinion? Are you going to abandon your home and go to the area of where your opinion is accepted? No, I don't see that, nor would I, unless I was forced out at gunpoint. But
okay, all right, let's just clarify that a bit. When I say civil war, I do not mean on every house, on every street, on every corner, on every boulevard in America. If you go back to American history of civil war, the actual civil war, it does not affect the whole of the country. The Confederates and the Unions. I mean, there are parts of the American homeland that never saw anything. So no, it doesn't affect it, but
what terrifies you the most about being in jail? Lack of security. So he already knows.
Of course
he already knows.
Of course he knows.
They could dispose of him. And he just said that to me. They could dispose of me. They could orchestrate all sorts, right? Do you think that's going to make you go away? No, he just said to me, I believe that'll create a war.
Yeah, I think it would.
So very interestingly, we got thrown out of Zoom and my internet was taken down. So Mr. Shakespeare thinks I was doxxed. Whatever that means. That's very trendy. What does doxxed mean?
Well, it's a denial of service, but yeah.
It was very odd that we just got to the point of probing Trump and he's very aware of what could happen and the implications of being placed in jail. And suddenly we were pulled, the plug was pulled and we got thrown out. So who knows? Who knows? Like you said, they have bots, they have algorithms, they have all sorts of things that are constantly text to speech, and you say strings of words and the bots automatically throw you out. But anyway, yeah, very interesting. What I was saying before we were so rudely interrupted by the powers that be is that we have looked at this off camera on the balance of probabilities doing future probes. And we sort of have an idea what is going to happen. As it stands, where we are today, the most likely outcome. So we've had that consistency in those probes as well. Now, I'm not going to put that out because this is a very volatile situation. That there's so many moving parts, and when you're dealing with sort of future self remote views, right, or future remote views, with this amount of volatility, one thing can change the whole prediction. So we're sort of cautious on that front, but it's not looking good. I don't know. I mean, the fact that Trump knows, he's fully aware of what could happen to him if he goes to jail. So let's just continue on. I'm going to grab Trump again and I'm going to ask him, do you think that that is the intention of the system to get you into an isolated area? Absolutely. He's saying yes. He's saying yes. And why do you think they want to do that? They want to shut him up. They want to silence him. They want him to go away. Now that's what he's saying to me. Those are his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. And I'm saying to him again, but do you think that there was a part of you that was acting above the law? And he just shrugged his shoulders. So now, are you going to have security in jail? And now he's coming back to me and he's saying none. I'm at the mercy of the state. And you don't want those people in charge of your security. I want to be in charge of my own security. So that's what he has to say about it. I mean, anything else from you, Mr. Shakespeare?
No, I think that's all we need to do for this one.
Yeah, the fact that we were taken down, it's mind probes. Mind probes are hard to digest. They don't bother me, but sometimes they bother a lot of people. It's, at least a weekly comment I get about, how do you do this? Does it not make you uncomfortable? This, that, and the other. And no, it doesn't, because the information that we are receiving, especially for those that have followed me on the Patreon, and I love the Patreon. So listen, we've got the best group out there, right? We do. I have to brag about the group. We've got the best group out there. And, they know they have become so informed because of the mind probes. It's not the mainstream media, it's not the PR spin, and it's not even alternative media either. It isn't. It's the real personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions of what is going on underneath the conscious mind. And the conscious mind is what chooses to lie. People don't realize that. It's the conscious mind where the lying takes place. So when you are doing a lie detector test, what happens is the body knows, the subconscious knows you're going against the truth. So the subconscious starts sending like major alarm signals. And that's why, you can pick up with neuro-linguistic programming, which direction the eyes are moving, where they're recalling the information from, if it's recall or if it's made up information. The pulse rate goes up, the temperature goes up, you start to become a little bit more agitated or fidgety. That's because the subconscious is going against what the conscious mind is trying to tell everyone. And so that's why the mind probes are such an excellent resource. But again, with this shutting down today, it's risky. All right, well, I'll stop this one here, Mr. Shakespeare. Thank you.